Yantras are geometrical forms, and you can say if you look at the entire tradition, then there are many. And we also then see that from different parts of India, for example, even from different times and different traditions, different kinds of yantras come. So that must be clear that there is a big variety there. And you could say that yantras are like mantras. They're actually totally complementary to mantras, because we have one side of the brain which is more working in words and sounds, and we have another side of the brain which is more working in images. So then yantras are basically a centering device, just as mantras are a centering device. And so we can use them as object of meditation, just like we can use mantras. And they will also have a very particular effect on our being, just like mantras have through the sounds. Then yantras will have it through the shapes and the colors that these shapes then get. And the combination of that is also working a kind of a magic on us, bringing a certain desired spiritual quality or emotion inside of us. So yes, if you want to be more like Kali and have that strength of Shakti of Kali, then you can work with Kali mantra and you can work with Kali yantra, or you can combine both, which is a very effective technique because it involves both sides of the brain. When we try to stop thinking and focus only on the object of our meditation, then often thoughts, they try to find a way in. And so if our object is only using words like a mantra, then often the thoughts will come as images, which then lead to further words and thoughts. So if you use only yantra, then maybe it'll come as sounds and words. So to use both is quite a sure way to fix your focus there. But from my own experience, I have to add to that some people are quite visual and other people like me are not visual at all. You can see that in the way I draw. When I draw something, it's like a child. I never got any better than that. Okay, that's just me. But so that also means that for me to visualize a quite complex geometrical structure like a yantra in my mind is impossible. I have really tried that, but I can't do it. So then, okay, for me to work with mantra is more logical. And if I feel that there is some visual needed, because my concentration may be not very good at a particular moment, then I can visualize something very simple. Like the dot, the center of the yantra is always a dot, the bindu, so that I can visualize. And it is anyhow the essence of the whole yantra, so okay, not bad. Or something more I can visualize, or can even visualize the words also. That is also a known technique, that you visualize the words. But so I've tried really hard, and the way that this is actually done is that first you paint the yantra, because only then you will intimately know it. Except maybe if you are a super visualizer and you can just see it and immediately picture it complete with all the circles and the squares and the petals and the colors in your mind. Maybe some people can do that, but most people, to really get to know the yantra, they will first paint it. And paint it from the outside to the inside. So the last thing you put is the dot. This is very important. And also then in your mind, you will reconstruct it that way. And yantras, in the way then that Harish Johari was teaching it as objects of meditation, are usually square. Square, but with some gates, as they are called. Some appendixes, you could say, that are shaped like gates, so that the square does not become too square. Otherwise it becomes too static. And that you need because you need like to focus your energy, focus your attention in a certain field. Like mandalas, they have a round shape. They are generally seen as not such good objects of meditation because they are circular. And circular is the most dynamic form. So it will be very hard to keep it stable. It will always expand. That is the nature of the circle. The circle actually is an expansion of the point. When the point starts to expand, then you get the circle. So, but to keep the circle, very hard. It always has a tendency to grow bigger. That is its nature. So then we need a square. But then, okay, inside that square we make a circle, or we make multiple circles. And then inside the circles we have usually maybe triangles or combinations of triangles. And then let's say the dot in the middle. And some petals to decorate, which then usually also have a more rational like meaning. But okay, that's not so much the idea when you meditate that you think about these things. But so then to really take the yantra, let's say of Kali, and focus with the correct colors and so on, it will have a certain effect on you, for sure. And I try to also a little bit use that effect by just having it there, painted by somebody else actually. And then often look at it. And a little bit also you can say stare at it. That is also a practice which exists. That is actually called Trotak, where you are not meditating, you cannot call this meditation, but preparing for meditation, concentrating for meditation, and creating a certain energy inside of you which is like compatible with the meditation that you are going to do. So then to stare at this yantra for some time before then starting maybe inside with the mantra and maybe with visualizing the yantra, that is also very often done. So in that way, I can point to a book, Tools for Tantra by Harish Johari, where all the yantras of the Mahavidyas are there, and it is shown very clearly how to draw them. And then I can also point to another book, I mean to stay within this tradition of Harish Johari, by Sarah Tomlinson, which is called 9 Designs for Inner Peace, and where she is actually showing and teaching how to make the yantras of the 9 planets, which is also a very, very important kind of practice, to align yourself better with your own planetary energies. Meditate on the yantra of the sun or the moon or whichever. So that is there also. And then of course, there are multiple other sources where you can find yantras. And as I said, from different traditions, they will look quite different. But that does not mean that there is not a science behind it. That is explained very beautifully also in the book Tools for Tantra, how each color that you visualize produces in you like an opposite color, like the complementary color. And that is the color actually that you're seeking in terms of effect. And so in that way, yantra meditation is I would say a very standard part of tantric meditation, and very powerful, except I'm really not good at it. So I don't know so much from own experience. But among Harish Johari, this was very important. And so I've seen many others do it and somewhat, see what they could get there. And yes, sure, for some people this was very effective. But also just the practice of having a yantra in a dominant place, maybe, in front of you when you meditate, or some other place where you will see it very often, and stand still with it, just observe it for a while, and let its colors and shapes do their work, will have a similar effect as if you would, let's say, put on a tape with the mantra and listen to that and let that work on you. So very good tool.